Welcome to my channel. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do a pick a card read for you. Now, don't worry, I am going to turn on the lights, but I just wanted it to be a little bit extra spooky, simply because this is about how people are afraid of you or how you intimidate other people. That's a spooky itself. So pretty much you're going to be picking from pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. This one jumped out and it's remained laying down. I'm going to use that sort of like the anchor for all 3 stories. So let's get some light here now that we have our mood lighting. All right, and I want to mention as well, go ahead and go with your intuition. If something doesn't seem to fit the story, then please do not make it fit. Don't force anything. This is for entertainment purposes only. And most of the time, this is going to actually validate your own personal intuition, which is what I love about readings. That's how it should be. Nobody should tell you what to do or what not to do, right? So in this edition, we're doing Pick a Card Spooky Edition, okay? Again, 1, 2, and 3, and those are your options. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these. And we're going to start out with this. Pile number 1, the Knight of Swords. What's spooky about you is that you come across as somebody who is highly intelligent, knowledgeable. You can use your words really, really well, and yet you can actually just come across in the pursuit of what is right, what is true, and what is real. You can come across as somebody who runs over people quite easily. You can come across as being super aggressive, super focused, almost militant. Tell me the truth, nothing but the truth. This is what I want. No, I didn't ask you about this. This is what I want to know. Is it yes or no? That kind of a tone. So that really does serve to intimidate people, especially if they're dodgy. I want to say that. I think that you are ready in your character, you're viewed anyways, as being able to have this sword that you can cut off any of the BS with your barrage of questions, with your barrage of intelligence, willing to communicate at a rapid fire. Okay, well, weren't you there? Well, you said this. Well, how come that? And so on and so forth. And people do feel actually kind of stunned, taken aback, and run over by that energy. You could have people just in general see this lady putting her hand out, kind of like stop. I don't know if I could zero in on that for you. Let's see if we can. Of course we can. All right, you see her hand right here, and she's like putting a stop, and she's on the verge of getting run over. So I think that people see the warning signs. And I hate to put it that way. It's like you don't need a warning label. But if you needed a warning label, and maybe I should call the reading a warning label, your warning is watch out, MFR, because I've got all the answers. I've been there, done that. I'm super smart, keen, sharp. I don't even, I mean, look, this person can navigate a whole tank and a weapon here and another weapon here. You're willing to cut out anything that doesn't make sense or that is a flat lie. So you can ferret out deceit really quite easily. And that's very intimidating. Okay. So what else do we need to know about pile number 1? What else is it about you that really intimidates people? What's spooky about you? Pile number 1, what's going on? What is it that people are mostly afraid of when it comes to you? Let's find out. 6 of Hazards. In this deck, this is viewed as a Pentacles. Get a good look-see here. Now, this can mean a couple of things. Basically, what I see from this is that you have a Mr. Doctor in the bag, you know, swing. I'm going to tell you just the way it came to me, okay? Swinging his meat around. That's just all I'm going to say. Take it as it fits, okay? And this is like compelling or directing the zombie to go ahead and mow whatever yard or whatever area he needs to mow. So you could be perceived as somebody who kind of throws your weight around, or really kind of knows how to direct other people energetically with what motivates. And that's what it is, that you're super astute, but you know also what motivates, what kind of carrot to dangle, whether it's a steak, whether it's a fried egg, because it looks like a fried egg in the middle of that, whether it's money, whether it's time off, anything like that. You know how to motivate people and therefore keep them on task. So if you are a boss, if you run your own business, if you are a manager, these are all really good characteristics, but it can really serve to intimidate people because they know it's like, wow, this person, pile number one, has got my number. That's what they say about you. They say that you're almost clinical in how astute you are, that you could just really figure out what it is that motivates a person and set them to task and put them to task, okay? And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think any of these things so far are bad things at all. So let's see what else. What else do we have that's scary or spooky about pile number one? Let's find out. The moon. So you're really in tune also with your intuition, and that really helps unlock a lot of your, I want to say, messages. Sorry about that. My dog was knocking at the door. He needs a growth on so he can let himself in. But basically, you are seen as somebody who just gets messages through feathered friends, basically through the wind, like rapid, intelligent communication, big intuition, and also I feel like you don't wear your heart on your sleeve, so to speak. And so because you keep things to yourself, you keep things hidden, you keep your own secrets, and also you keep hidden knowledge for you to be able to use at a later date or whenever you see fit, or just simply for information in the back of your mind. It does give people kind of, I don't want to say nightmares, but keeps them awake at night, keeps them from really resting, just kind of being afraid, okay, what is it that they know about me? Pile number one, so that is number 18, and it reduces to a 9. So interesting. It can bring out their own inner demons a lot of times, I feel. What else do we need to know for pile number one? What is intimidating about you? Pile number one, let's find out. So I feel like you're not afraid to level anything. That I think that people think that you have the ability to cause everything to topple down, whatever it is that is weak within their structure, whatever falsehood they've created, whatever facade they have created for the world, you can bring their towers toppling down. And I think that it's kind of over dramatic what people think that you're gonna do. I'm not saying that you're gonna do that, but they perceive you, okay, as being somebody who can bring down the whole darn house simply because you know a lot, you know what to ask, you don't fall for any like ridiculous stories. You get to the bottom of things, and indeed intuitively you know what the truth is, and they can't really pull one over on you. So I think that that's really intimidating because you are perceived, okay? You are perceived as having the power to be able to bring down buildings around people. If you are actually someone who were to speak what they know or what they think you know, that's more accurate, okay? They feel like it could bring about a lightning moment, an aha moment, and illuminate things for everyone around you, and essentially that you will be laying naked and exposed in front of everybody else, or that, you know, you could lose your relationships, your career, your reputation, things like that, because you know, you're not one to be trifled with, and so they're afraid that they can lose their careers or their reputations, their relationships, and things like that. So you have a way of just really off the bat, just intimidating people. Tisk tisk. All right, so what else do we need to know about pile number one? What else is spooky, intimidating about you? Let's find out. King of Wands. All right, so people are a little bit afraid because when you get excited when you have things set, like this is how I want things. When you figure out a direction that you want to head, you could be a little bit bossy. You could be perceived as bossy, getting excited about your own ideas and telling people kind of what to do. This is how you do it. This is where to go. This is the best way that it's going to be handled, and you don't mess around. You expect people to follow. So not only are you super astute, but you're a great leader as well. And that can really kind of put the rest of us like, oh my gosh, this person's like a real powerhouse. And so that could be super intimidating. Also, that you seem really, really grounded, and that you know that you're self-assured, and that you know what you want, and also that you cause things to really bloom and grow, whether it's money, whether it's great relationships, whether it's anything really. You just cause things to grow, whatever you put attention to. So where attention goes, energy flows, or the other way around. I always mess that one up. But anyways, pal number 1, this is what I have for you. And then we want to find out. This was, oh my goodness, this is the anchor, I'm going to call it, for all 3 readings. And now you could be oscillating between 4 of Cups, and it was like, I'm really, really bored, I don't want that, to, okay, I know exactly what I want. I'm really bored, I don't want that, to, I know exactly what I want. And so you could be like wanting to get to the root of the bottom of things, and then you just simply don't care. And then you want to cut through the quick again with an kind of inquisition type barrage of questions, and then you don't care. So it could oscillate really quite a big difference. This could be just a general energy. That's what it's feeling like right now. So pile number 1, if you do like this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Please like, share, comment, and most of all, do subscribe to my channel so I can keep them coming, so I know that you're even watching. Thank you so much. And without further ado, namaste. Hi, pile number 2. So here we are doing your reading. And we want to know what is spooky about you. I wasn't quite ready, but Spirit was. I'm going to take them. These are laying down. We're going to start with the very first card right here, and death. And don't be afraid. This is a major change, okay? So it's not a physical death. I don't want people to think that I'm reading all scary or anything like that. Now, for anything new to grow, there has to be compost. There has to be dirt. There has to be some sort of like fertilized whatever on the ground in order to really literally push up daisies. And so I feel like with you, there's been a real big change in you, and that could be really scary to some people. Now, for some people, yeah, legitimately, maybe you've had a physical change, like for example, if somebody got in an accident and all of a sudden their life is completely changed and they're learning new things all over again, or your personality has radically changed, or you have medical reasons why your personality changes and things like that. But for the rest of you, most of you, this is going to indicate a change that's more metaphoric, but it is visible in the real intangible world. Now, what's scary and spooky about this is that one day you were one way, and it seems like to these people around you overnight, you completely switch the game, you change. You're no longer interested in what you used to be, like wanting to go out to drink and eat and hang out with friends or do whatever. Or I heard have unprotected sex. Okay, don't judge me. This is what I'm hearing and I'm giving it to you. I feel like you changed your mindset about things that were really leading you down a bad path, or a path that was not healthy for you. Maybe you completely changed your diet and you decided it begins with my mind, and I'm no longer enabling or encouraging things that make my body malfunction or not function to its optimum ability. And this radical change can really have affected your relationships around you. For example, you don't want to go out to eat with friends anymore. You won't go out to their house to have dinner anymore. Because you're following a strict diet and you're focused on your fitness. And while they understand that, they don't understand the change, that they don't know how to bond with you anymore, is what I'm feeling, okay? So that is for pile number 2. Now it's a number 13. When it gets reduced, it is number 4. So I feel like you're finding your stability. I feel like you're finding your joy, what helps you grow, what helps you thrive. And you're not looking for people that kind of toe the line, or people that kind of put band-aids on things instead of helping things really grow and thrive and seek real change. You're not doing that anymore. And also I feel like you're gonna have a lot of changes in people that are surrounding you and people that you hang out with and people that are like-minded. And so what's terrifying about you is really that you have changed everything up. And people no longer really understand, and they feel like they don't know who you are. And I feel like about this is the anchor card that fell sideways that I said I was going to use for all readings. Now, about this card, I feel, pile number 2, that you also like between I really care and I don't care. And I really care and I don't care. And so you go back and forth between, you know what, if you understand, I went vegan or I went vegetarian or I went keto and I'm not hanging out with you guys. I'm not binging and doing Thanksgiving the way you guys do. I'm eating mindfully, not without mindfulness, whatever. Things like that could really cause a big division within you and your family or friends or your circle of peers, whatever the case may be. And that just really terrifies them because they don't really understand, once again, how to relate to you. I feel like it does affect your home, it affects your diet, it affects what you eat, it affects your social life. So whatever this is. Next I have right here, oh look, the 3 of Cups. You can't make this up. These were the jump cards that came up when I wasn't ready, when Spirit was ready, and it popped up. So here we have it. I'm going to start with this one. The Queen of Hazards. So this is somebody who is slow and methodical and approaches things very deliberate, okay? And I feel like they're maybe used to you being this queen. And it doesn't have to be that it's gender fluid, it's gender neutral, whatever. But this indicates an energy that, you know, maybe you weren't super fast to pull the trigger, maybe you weren't really one to kind of jump from one thing so radically to the next, such as I do. But you're definitely somebody who typically is known for taking their time, for doing their research, for maybe slow moving, for liking to relax a lot, and maybe perhaps you completely shifted that. And so now people are really kind of terrified because they don't understand. Once again, it's like, hey, we used to sit on the couch and talk, and now you don't anymore. And it's the only way I relate to you. And so you're not slow and deliberate anymore. You've set your sights, and it's almost like you have a fire personality right now. And that is quite terrifying because it's just kind of jarring, okay? It's not that it's a bad thing at all. Next here is this celebration cup and the 3 of Cups. And so again, this is about, oh, you know, we used to hang out, we used to party, we used to drink and go do all these things. And even with social distancing, we're not talking about this right now. That's entirely up for you, and you're part of the world, and whatever you decide, that's on you. But what we are addressing is habits. And so what terrifies us about you, pile number 2, is that once upon a time we knew. It's like, hey, call so-and-so, call pile number 2 for happy hour. Hey, they're down. We're down? Yep, we're down. Friday night, let's go. You want to go? Things like that. And now things are completely different. You may or may not go, and they don't really know. And what they're scared of is that, you know, you may decide not to go along with it. And it just, it's very conflicting, confusing. They don't know if they should invite you or not, and back and forth, and so on and so forth, okay? I'm going to actually leave this right here. And let's pull some other cards for you. Pile number 2, let's find out what is scary about you. Let's find out. 3 of Wands. You know what? You're willing to wait. You're willing to do things your own way. You're willing to study. You don't care how long it takes. You are committed to whatever it is that you have decided this big drastic change is going to do. And also, by the way, this could be like scholastically speaking. This could be about like, I changed my major and nobody understands it. You always want to be a vet. And so all of these things can pertain, and people just don't get it, okay? So I feel like you're perceived as somebody who made such a quick change. And because his hat on this wizard is off, I'm going to say that people are really looking at you like, have you lost your mind a little bit? You were really focused on what was so stable and a sure thing. And now you've taken that hat off, meaning that you are not thinking that way anymore. And it seems like your behavior is risky, but it's not. It's authentic. Okay? What else do we need? And you're definitely looking at, like, people are afraid that you're kind of throwing things like the baby out with the bathwater. Don't be afraid about that. Just they'll come around or they won't. And eventually they'll figure it out, right? This is all about you. So what is frightening about pile number 2? We've got the number 7 of cups. You have choices. Oh, pile number 2, you've got so many choices. Why do you have to have so many choices? And this can be terrifying because we want to be your choice. Okay, so it could be romantic, it could be not. But knowing that you have a lot of options out there and that you can examine all of the different cups and see what's being offered to you, and you can accept whatever it is that you want to accept or not as you see fit, is terrifying. So that means if you're partnered, your significant other may be feeling like, wow, I know that this person has, you know, different options, and the way that they're changing so much now, do I still fit in with their world? Or if this is just friends and family, it's like, well, they have options, and, you know, it's like we're not on the same page anymore. This other person or these other people seem to be on the same page, and now I'm concerned about my place in pile number 2's life, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's terrifying. And yeah, that was a little bit sarcastic because I'm happy for you. So far, all these readings have been really great. So what is terrifying about pile number 2? Who needs her glasses? I do. Okay, so it's the Ace of Wands. It's, yeah. And so this is all about your new fire, new passion. This is all new growth. And this has been something that was like buried for quite some time. And all of a sudden it just feels like it sprung up from the middle of nowhere. And it is really bearing fruit, whether, and what I mean by that is that they're seeing your new passion and new drive and excitement in your life manifesting, whether you're making different choices, healthier choices, more authentic choices. Okay, this is going to be good medicine for you, but what terrifies us is that it could be medicine for us. We could be suffering inadvertently, not that you're trying to make people suffer, but we could be suffering from not understanding you and then not having the same excitement and drive that you have and feeling alienated. So we're terrified to not have the same passion and vision and drive as you because we don't want to be away from you. And that, frankly, is terrifying. So I hope that that made sense. And if it did, please do give me a big thumbs up. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe. And with that, namaste. Thank you so much. Hi, pile number 3. If this is your pile, let's find out why you are intimidating. What scares people about you? And before I even started rolling the camera, I heard pile number 3 is a baddie. So take it as you will. And we're going to flip this. Okay, 7 of hazards. Now, interesting, I wasn't expecting that at all. We'll see what else transpires. 7 of hazards, this is about the pentacles, the 7 of pentacles, and this is about you making an assessment, analyzing, taking notes, taking mental notes. I'm willing to put everything under scrutiny to make sure this is what I want, this is where I'm headed, this is beneficial, this is rewarding, this is giving equal effort, and this is also giving me a return for my effort. So it could be equitable energy that 2 people are putting in the same amount of energy into a project or a vision. The number 7 is very spiritual, by the way, and I'm seeing a lot of green right here, greenish yellow, so this has to do a lot with the heart chakra and the solar plexus mixed in together. So it's about really what you desire and is there growth there? And so you're looking at those 2 things, okay? You're willing to take off anything that is not giving a good return on your investment, and you're very analytical. And that scares the tar out of us, honestly. Pile number 2. I'm a liar. This is pile number 3. That was my last card. I'm so sorry. So 3. Hello, I can count. So pile number 3, the seven hazards, again, super astute. You could be a scientist. You could be somebody who works well with numbers, an accountant, not that kind. But, you know, hey, who am I to judge? So you could definitely be somebody who is looking at everything and taking mental notes, and you suffer no fool. Once you make a decision, that's your decision. And now I'm going to tell you about this energy. This one is the one that jumped out, and this seems to be a collective energy for all three reads. And for you, pile number 3, this is going to mean that, you know what, sometimes I make a really good assessment. I take in fact into account all the details. Is this worth it? Is it blooming? Is it good for me? Is it good reward for my time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears spent? And then all of a sudden I don't care. So you're back and forth a little bit sometimes. And I feel like this is October's energy, by the way. I really care. No, I don't. I really care. No, I don't. And so on and so forth. So if you feel fluctuations, it is not just you. Pile number 3. I told you I could count. So, okay, 7 of hazards for pile number 3. What else do we have? What scares us about the pile number 3? Let's find out. Queen of Cups. You are the quintessential psychic. Super astute, super in tune with people's emotions. I feel like you can also be empathic. You don't have to be female. This is just feminine energy. We all have feminine and masculine energy. You are someone who knows intuitively how people are feeling, and that can sometimes eat away at your brain, okay? Now, what's scary about this is that you seem to just know. You can read a room, and that can be a little bit spooky because you can walk in and tell when somebody's had a fight or when things are just uneasy and not up to par. You could have that intuition where you actually have clairaudient, clear vision. You can even have that clear that you taste things, okay? And I know that sounds really weird and a lot of people don't discuss it, but actually there is a psychic ability, I forget what it's called, that you can actually taste things. And I personally, I can smell and taste things as well. And so sometimes that's like interesting, and sometimes it's just bizarre and weird and it doesn't make any sense, okay? So for example, right now I have perfume in my mouth. I don't know where that's coming from, but occasionally that can really kind of terrify people and throw people off because they want to, you know, we're a people that we want to have our privacy and our ability to just have everything concrete, and you're so mysterious and in tune with your emotion and other people's emotions that can really wear on people around you, especially if they're really, really private. They don't want you to be privy to every thought. And I feel like people think that you can actually access all of their thoughts, and that's actually terrifying. Also, I think that you could also have dreams that come true. And let's see what else. I think that you're also somebody who, you know, if something's, you kind of regenerate yourself, you reinvent yourself. And so you're someone that is never stagnant, even though this energy is like, okay, I don't care. Yes, I do. Oh, I don't care. But you're always kind of moving like the ocean. Do you like that? I don't know why I started doing that. It's kind of weird. But anyways, pile number 3, Queen of Cups. I think you can also, you know, be clairaudient or feel things like spirits or things touching you, or just know when ancestors are around you. And so that's not a bad thing. And of course, this is only for a few, not all of you, but that can also spook people around you. I had a friend that I went to Texas with, and we went by the cemetery, and I had a spirit actually come back with us to the hotel, and it was a little girl. And so I told my friend about her, and my friend was really freaked out, of course. So you could have experiences like that as well. Yeah, and so that could be really terrifying for people who don't really comprehend that world. So pile number 3, what is freaky, scary about thee? I don't know why I'm rhyming, so you're welcome. Page of Hazards. Okay. And so what's scary about you is, you know what? You will wait. And you will wait until you get a clear message. This could be your inbox. And you've been waiting for a long time for messages. You will outweigh anyone with patience, okay? When you decide that it's going to be something like you're not going to make the first move, you're going to wait that out. If you decide that, you know, you want this job or you want somebody to contact you, you're going to wait them out. And you could be waiting for a message. It could be, you know, news via text, via email, or a phone call, whatever the case may be. And what's scary and terrifies the rest of the people around you is that you can actually bang your head against concrete, and, you know, indetermination like this will happen, almost willing it to. And it scares people because sometimes that can feel like a little bit of a form of self-inflicted abuse. The waiting can, if it's to your determinant. Did I pronounce that properly? Detriment, I think. Anyways, you get my point. But yeah, so this kid is not going anywhere, is totally anchored and just like, we're waiting until we get that message, and we're not going anywhere. And so that could be a little bit terrifying, that you can just outweigh anybody. It's almost like if you're sitting outside waiting for someone to, I don't know why this scenario is going through my mind, but waiting for someone to come out of the house, and you're going to outweigh them until they have no choice but to leave the house. And so, yeah, something like that. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't have thought that that was kind of scary, but it can be scary. I could see that. Okay, so what else do we have to clarify? Our pile number 3. Pile number 3. What is scary? Oh, that just jumped right out. What? The Star. Pile number 3. It is actually pretty frightening. Once again, your intuition, how psychic you are, how you can set your vision upon something. And even though it's not the traditional meaning, you can dump those waters of whatever doesn't really fully benefit or look like it's going to lead to what it is that you want. You will throw that back in the pond, back in the water, and that will transmute and cause you to have some balance. You're not going to really attach yourself to things around you because you're attached more to mystery and to spirit, to energy. And what I mean by that is, look at all this energy around her head, okay? All the little lightning and all the, I don't know what you want to call it, but she has a ton of energy on her crown chakra, which means that she's getting a ton of downloads and energy from spirit. She doesn't need to necessarily see the tangible. She's definitely going to weigh things out and weed the tangible, okay? Because it only makes sense, right? But she's not hindered. And what's scary about you is that you have like a vision that nobody else has. You're definitely looking at wishing upon a star, and it's definitely why don't I ever learn that term? Not dancing to the beat of your own drum. Is that how you say it? I don't know why I have a problem saying this. But anyways, yeah. So you appear very graceful, at times very distant, very much like clairaudient, like you're listening to the other world, very otherworldly, okay? And that can really spook people around you because they're like, is she listening? Are they ancestors? Are they speaking? Are they whispering? Are they talking about me? What does she know? Oh my goodness. Or what does he know? Anyways, I don't know why I acted that out. I have not had caffeine. All of a sudden I got really hyper. But your energy feels like very high vibe. And actually, I'm feeling a ton of energy. I'm just doing this and I got a ton of energy around this, which I've gotten for 0 cards in the whole reading. And in fact, that's the first time that's ever happened. Another thing I want to mention here is that you have the ability to heal, not only yourself, but people around you. And people flock to you because you are a natural healer, not even like knowing. You don't have to know. You know how to heal people, whether it's a word or just your mere presence. And that can really kind of freak people out, because they're really so drawn to you. So it's not like, ooh, that's scary, not this one. But it could be like, that's just weird how whenever I'm around so-and-so, I just feel like, you know, I don't hurt anymore. My brain is clear. I feel like I just feel so much better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because you have that healing element, okay? But your connection with spirit, I feel like, does intimidate and frighten people. So that is kind of sad. I feel like you might have a connection, a past life connection as well with, I'm going to say Asia. And so you can be from Asian descent, or one of your past lives, if you believe in that, can be a connection. You can have a lot of Asian ancestors in your ear as well. And so that's what I'm feeling for you. So that is what I have for you. And if you like this reading, please do give me a thumbs up. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe. I want to thank you so much for your time. This was really super fun. And let me know if you enjoyed it with a comment, okay? And with that, namaste.